Everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Do you have a topic for today? I haven't read my email.
I sent it out late.
That's from Mark.
Since I was flying solo this morning, I kind of was running around doing everything. So yeah, today, and I'll present the topic, but we can talk about it in a little bit, so we can take questions and other things first. But one of the things that I want to talk about is they're changing Google Photos, or have changed Google Photos from what it used to be, because so you had Photos and Picasa kind of tied together, and then when they came out with Google Plus, their social media, to try to combat Twitter and Facebook, they integrated their photos into Google Plus social media thing. They've now separated them, and so they're now solo from one another. And so we're going to talk about what that means and how that affects people and the good.
Yeah, matter of fact, I kept getting this notice that there's an update for Picasa, and I click on it and it won't open for me. But it also, they kind of say, we would recommend you switch to Google Photos or something.
Google Photos.
And I looked at the blogs, and us Picasa people, we really like the editing capability and stuff of Picasa.
Yeah.
Well, it is, yeah, it's a free, but like here again, yes, I want to update. Well, I click on it, nothing happens. And so I went in and Googled, Picasa update, and other people have.
What does it say? Can you find out what version of Picasa you currently have?
And then I get show details.
Because right here it's showing on the front page of Picasa's website that version 3.9 is the newest, but it also says now with Google Plus sharing and tagging, which is what they're now steering away from. But yeah, Picasa and Google Photos, well, again, it used to be that Picasa would then allow you to upload / back up to Google Photos in the cloud, and then it switched again. So that was kind of all integrated. And then when they came out with Google Plus, they updated Picasa so that when you uploaded, you were uploading to your Google Plus account. No longer this Google Photos or your Picasa web albums, I think is what they were called.
Tell me why I would want to do that.
Which part?
Any part. I mean, what does Google Photos or Picasa do that iPhoto does, or now Photos doesn't do?
They're very similar. Bill, let's see. I don't know. I haven't played with Photos a lot, but I know that Picasa does collages, and so you can, and it's super simple. You just pick 3, 4, 8, 10 photos and say these are the ones that I want, and then it'll throw them into a collage, and then you can just drag and switch them around to create a
primary one in the center, or random, and depending on the number of to make it look right, because sometimes when you move it up to a corner, it crops it too much. So you have to kind of play with it to get the right combination number. If you get too many,
right,
too small.
You can add borders and captions with Picasa, so it's got a little more capabilities than just the Photos app.
So let's say collages. You do a collage, you got 6 pictures in it. Can the recipient download those individual pictures?
No, it becomes a new picture.
That's what it is. Yeah. But if you want to change it, you have to almost recreate a new collage. Even from because Beth has been doing that with her pictures. That's the most frustrating thing, because she sent you a picture. You can look at it, but you can't do anything with it. Let's see, add out and rotate.
Yeah, no, it
Open.
saves it as a picture. So it doesn't save it as like a Picasa file or
I
something.
want to see if I can open, it says open the file, so I'm curious to see if I can open it. Opens it in photo gallery.
So just like any other aftermarket, so to speak, photo program, it's gonna have, even though it's still free, it's gonna have some more capabilities than the basic Photos app for the Mac, or even the new, because they came out with a new Photos app for the new Windows 10. Let's see if I can find it. And you can do some basic stuff with it. So picture, so you can, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get this on screen. Yeah, or no. This is just the straight up Photos app for the new Windows 10. So this is the share feature. Looks like, doesn't look like much, but I think it's supposed to be like people holding hands in a circle up here in the top. Slideshow, so it'll just show my pictures. Enhance, which is much like what the Photos app has for edit. So filters, light, color effects, which is also what Photos for Mac has. Rotate, auto enhance, crop, straighten. So if the image is crooked, red eye, retouch. So it's a lot, just very basic stuff. And then you can just quick rotate within there. So that's basically all this built-in one can do, kind of very similar to what Photos does. So it's very basic, whereas if you download Picasa or another one.
So those were attractive to old Windows users because Windows didn't have a very good Photos thing.
Well, and it's good
Windows
for.
10 has Photos in it now.
This is, well, yeah, but still it's very basic. You can kind of enhance the picture, you know, edit the coloration or the saturation, or make it black and white or sepia or something. So it's very basic. There's not, you can't really do any advanced editing with it. Whereas Picasa, you can do more. And then if you were to download something like Photoshop or Lightroom or something more advanced, or After Effects, I think is they have for Mac. Well, Adobe Lightroom is for Mac also. They would provide more advanced features for really doing a lot with your picture and really tweaking everything about it.
So when you take pictures, how do you get them from your camera to your computer?
I put them in my drive.
The car.
The car, yeah, and I download, and it downloads by day. Or you can save them
into this Picasa.
Picasa is my primary photos. Then there I can edit them on, okay, here's the same pictures. I can, a lot of cases, if I don't have my proper light settings, by changing the shadow, you know, brings in more depth. Of course, you can change the temperature, you can highlight. The thing I like about Picasa is that you've never lost the original. You can go back and undo right to the original, your original, you crop, you know, like you were saying. One advantage of this is you can create movies from your photos. Maybe you probably do the same thing in iPhoto.
So can you do that like that moonrise climbing up the mountain?
Yeah.
Could you make a movie out of those stills?
I did, yes. I tried to convert it to YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube, but it wouldn't let me. And I think you were telling me why I couldn't do it to YouTube.
Yeah, we can look at that in greater detail.
Yeah, matter of fact, it really, see, that's a movie I tried to create.
Yeah, I think we didn't, obviously it was just talking and we had no machines in front of us, but I think it may have something to do with saving the file as something that YouTube would recognize.
Yeah, because the other advantage, one thing I like about Picasa is you create albums. You get, say you have 1,000, okay, see these ones with stars, I went in and out of all these pictures, I created the ones that were the best ones in stars. Then you can resort them by stars and create an album, which I have up here probably.
Yeah, and you can do favorites and Apple Photos.
Moonrise, yeah, I created those pictures I wanted to put into a movie into one file. You can resort and get it down to. That's what one of the things I like about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if you've got
if
you took several hundred photos in a trip or 1,000 photos for a trip, but you wanted, to show someone your top 50, then you can star them. And I think you can star favorite things in the Apple Photos app. And then that way you can say, all right, here's, we don't have time for 1,000 pictures, but here's 50 pictures from my trip that I want to show you.
Slideshow too, that's pretty standard, I would think.
My problem is when I had that hard drive crash,
Yes.
I thought I lost 5,000 pictures.
Yeah.
I found them,
Oh, okay.
but they're just batch. They're a batch of 5,000, and I can't bring myself to do
Yeah,
that.
here was the moon.
Yeah, that's hard. That's really.
They're in, I know they're there, but where?
Yeah. It's kind of weak today. Yeah.
And, sure.
So I'm just gonna. we were out of coffee, so I stretched it a little too thin, apparently.
This is the movie I tried to switch over to YouTube. I didn't want to post it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look to see if it's either a Google or a Picasa file, if it's a slideshow file, or if it's a movie file.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons, is just usability. And some of I think you also touched on it, Mark, is the old built-in Windows photo program was very basic. Like you could view photos, you could do like a one-touch enhance without being able to do anything else with it, and you could crop. Whereas Picasa adds a lot more features for no price at all, as opposed to paying $40, $50, $80, $300 for a program.
And so this Google, whatever they did now, that's sort of a response to keep up with the Microsoft.
Yeah, well, actually, the new Photos thing here, the online version, is actually a response to Yahoo and dang it, it's the one that I haven't used it in a while, but Yahoo Flickr.
Oh, yeah.
Yahoo has Flickr, and they boast of 1 terabyte of free online picture storage and movies, I believe. And so Photos for Google, and people were really upset at the whole integration of the social media, because if you wanted to use their Google's online photo album backup sharing feature, you had to opt into their Google Plus social media, which some people were really unhappy about that. So they've separated it back away from that. And so I think if you use they call it high quality. I don't know what they define as high quality. Excuse me. But they offer unlimited high quality picture storage. If you want original picture storage, they give some number of gigs for free. And so then you can upload your originals, and then you can share them from here as a link or an album.
Is determined for not as good as original.
Yeah. So it's still going to be a high quality, as opposed to like Facebook. Really, if you post something to Facebook, it really lowers the quality significantly. So they're still saying high quality, but they're saying it's not going to be the original. If you want the original, we're limiting you on that. But it's still several gigs. So this is what it looks like. And again, you can edit from right within here. And very basic features. But I think it's more about being able to back up your photos. And it's real simple. You click this upload button and you can choose where you want to pull them from. Or you can do something as simple as just dragging and dropping. So if I wanted to upload this picture, see, here we go. High quality, free and limited storage, great visual quality, reduced file size, original. So you get basically 12, looks like 12 gigs of full res pictures. All right, so now it's uploading. And there's the new photo. So that's what it does. And then, but they also added this, they have it for Android, iPhone, iPad, and a desktop version to upload. And so it'll automatically upload your photos for you. This is Google's new photo cloud storage. It's just called Google Photos. So you can basically have unlimited high res or 12 gigs worth of original quality photos. So then you obviously get dinged for however big the file is. But so they've got an Android app, an iPhone, iPad app, and a desktop uploader. And so you just click on any one of these three. Where's downloads? There we go. Save it to downloads. And then you get it started. And then it'll just, whenever you tell it to, or maybe it just does it automatically in the background, it'll start uploading your photos to your Google Web album. And then, so you just go through this process. And yes, we're going to cancel.
Serena's having a 10 problem. She has her opening screen, but she's got the white screen behind it, and she wants to get rid of the white screen.
Yeah.
The white screen.
So that she can.
All right, let's see.
Or watch. This window comes out, but this light is back, out in back of it.
So she can't get rid of it.
It's definitely something trying to load.
Oh, loading, something good.
Yeah, because if it won't let me right click on it. If I click over here.
I went to get photos and then it shows the little thing going around, so maybe it's something to do with the photos. Again, and click on photos. Yeah, but see that thing was going around. Does that mean something's loading?
Looking for new photos.
Oh.
So that's different.
Okay.
Whatever it is. So I'm going into your task manager, Control Alt Delete, region, that blue screen, task manager's at the bottom, and that lets you know what's currently running on your computer.
And if you want to stop it.
Yeah, and if you want to manually stop it, and it may be able to tell us.
That's what I'm not here.
Okay.
I got real problem.
I did reboot, so, and it came up again.
There's the photo. Back up.
I did click on that.
That's what it was.
Is that what it is?
Yep, so now you're back.
No. Is that a good thing? Google's backup? Google's backup.
I think that's exactly what I was, what's on the screen right there is that Google Photos backup.
Okay.
So you might, maybe because you have Picasa installed, it may automatically be on your
Because
computer.
Picasa backs up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And it may be called Google's Photo Backup because that's what it's now
Mhm.
called.
Oh,
So it may have updated. It's-
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you can't right click on something. That typically means it's a program that's open. And otherwise you should be able to click on your desktop and it should be. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I haven't checked it out. I'm not, I already use, like I mentioned, I've been using Flickr because it was out long before this was. So I really don't need to triple back things up. So I've got it backed up to an external hard drive and to Picasa or to Flickr. So I don't really need to back it up
That's
to.
why if you make a major change, we got all this back up. and
Yeah.
move it across.
Yep, that's part of the, yeah, there's so many, you know, and I think we've talked about this before in that if you know, recently for anybody who uses an iPhone or an iPad, Apple recently came out with the, you know, the Apple Radio or iTunes Radio. And it was supposed to compete with like Spotify and Pandora. And my biggest complaint wasn't that they did it, but that I'd already been using Pandora for a year or more and I've already spent all that time fine tuning my stations. Why would I want to start over and do that again? And so it just feels similar if you haven't already been using Google Photos in the cloud to then switch over to using that right now, even though they promise, you know, unlimited storage if you use high res versus original. That's incredible, but it just seems like a big undertaking if you've already, like I have already been using Flickr. I've already been using Pandora. I don't really want to spend all that time switching over to these new services. But if you haven't been using something like that and you've been looking for an option to, you know, back up your photos to the cloud, Joe Snyder talked to me yesterday and he said, so we're looking at starting to back up into the cloud. So do I wait for a cloudy day and get a really nice slingshot and a thumb drive? So it can be tedious, it can be confusing, and it can be frustrating, especially if you're, I don't think I've tried to switch services. I started to think about switching because I've got Office 365, which gives me free storage space with Microsoft's OneDrive, from switching all of my sermons from Google to Microsoft. And I tried to find a tool that would do that for me, and I haven't. And so until a tool like that appears on the market, I'm not going to manually download all of my sermons from Google and then upload them all onto Microsoft's website for OneDrive. It's too tedious for me. As nice as it sounds to have it over in Microsoft and in Word format as opposed to Google's weird format.
Yeah.
It's at this point, it's too much of a hassle. So Google's got me, which is fine. I'm not unhappy about that, but it'd be nice to move them over eventually.
Did you hear on the news that last night Verizon's no longer trying to have the contracts so that you can upgrade your phones and pay like $200 each
Yeah, they're
time?
really,
Oh, they've been pushing hard, but they've never cut it off, so to speak.
they're gonna do major, you know, they're reducing, they have a whole bunch of program plans now, they're gonna squeeze it down and basically
Yeah.
easily. Well,
It makes
some states
sense.
they go down,
It makes sense because everybody, not just Verizon, but everybody's been on this hardcore push to switch from the 2-year contract plan to the AT&T Next and the Verizon something.
but,
And
we give away free
I think it's
phones and-
the T-Mobile Jump or something, or maybe it's Verizon Jump, or maybe it's Verizon Edge.
Yes. Oh,
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, they've all got their name for this. You pay a monthly fee for your phone.
Yeah.
So like $30 a month.
yeah.
And you pay for then you pay for your service plan and then you're not tied into a contract. So yay for you, yay for them, 'cause then they don't have to deal with all the breakage of contracts.
So how does that work though? Let's say you buy a $600 iPhone.
Yep.
And you're paying $30 a month
Mm-hmm.
to pay it off.
Right.
Some interest.
Right.
But you're not obligated to them for 2 years.
Correct.
And you drop out after a year.
Correct.
They bill you for
They
$300.
still, no, you still send them a monthly bill.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to get their money on the phone no matter what,
I see.
which is ultimately what they really want.
Yeah.
That was the whole idea of the 2-year contract. It was so they could lock you in as a customer for 2 years, but also because that 2 years is how you paid your phone back to them because of that discounted one-time fee that you paid up front. And so, yeah, by doing the monthly thing, you can go wherever you want, but your phone may only work on Verizon because each phone,
Oh, yeah.
a couple companies have the same kind of network, but Verizon and AT&T are on completely separate network signals. One's CDMA and the other's something I don't remember anymore. I used to know, but so the chips inside your phone and my phone, Sandy, even though they're both iPhones, the chips that connect them to the cellular network are different chips. And so I can't take this phone into Verizon and say, I want to, one of your plans and I want to leave AT&T. I can't do that because my chip's not compatible with Verizon. And it's built inside, so you can't just like
Okay.
swap it
Not
out.
Just that little chip that you
Wow.
can change.
That's your SIM card.
The SIM card is what I think.
Yeah, the SIM card. So I could go to some smaller company. I don't know who. Let's say Alltel,
Boost.
yeah, or Boost Mobile or something. If they use the same type of cell network as AT&T, then I could switch to them. But I could not switch to Verizon, and a Verizon customer cannot switch to AT&T without getting a whole new phone.
So these iPhone 6s are supposed to come out on September the 9th. You buy one from Apple. You buy it at Verizon or CDMA or
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
And so you own this thing. Then you go to a company, Verizon or Boost or whoever, that's compatible with your SIM card.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, okay, I want your service. And you pay them just for the service.
You just pay. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an advantage if, like I'm not hung up on all features of the phone,
Right.
then you don't have to buy a new phone, basically.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You pay the full price of the phone, so you're paying $600, $700, $800, $900 for the phone to have it as your phone, basically, and then you can go in.
These Walmart pay-as-you-go
Right.
smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
They do have an iPhone that's like an iPhone 5,
Right.
and it's $200.
Yep.
But they have lots of Android phones for $60
Right.
that will do, a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So why not do that instead of, is it just to have an iPhone? And
You mean why get an iPhone as opposed to one of the?
yeah, pay $600 for an iPhone as opposed to $60 for a pay-as-you-go.
Right. There's the pay as you go are great, especially for people who aren't going to use it much. I mean, I know a decent amount of people, including my grandmother, who use a pay as you go because there's no
You don't use 15 gigs a day.
yeah, and she doesn't use any data, and so she just wants a straight up phone that when she's in a bind or out and really needs to call someone and it isn't at home, then she'll call us. But for the most part, she just uses her home phone, and that's what she does. So for her, it makes sense not to pay $50, $60, $70 a month. But for a lot of people who are texting all the time, who are using data on the go, using it as a GPS device instead of, a little Garmin or TomTom or what have you, for those people having, an allotted amount that they can use up basically as much as they've paid for in that month, it makes more sense for them to use that. So it's just kind of I guess you would say it's a lifestyle preference. If it's more of a convenience and something that you may need once in a while, then pay-as-you-go phones are great. And it may also depend on, your level of income.
So September 9th is when the new iPhones come out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that what they've said? Okay.
So it's the
iPhone 6S.
Yeah, it'd either be the 6S. That's been their rotation, is every other year is either an increase in the number, so 6 was this last year, and then the odd year, not necessarily literal odd year, but the odd years are that have an S donation. Notation, thank you.
So one reason that I would consider an iPhone is because of everything else I have.
Right.
But really how these will network. I mean, I can marry them. I can have interoperability.
I have my I use
an Android, isn't it?
Mine is and Brian is an iPhone.
Yeah.
We're not a couple.
I use Google Calendar as my main calendar for everything, and it syncs up to my iPhone. I don't use the iPhone calendar, so you can make it work. There will be a little bit of an effort, but not much.
Well, I'm considering that, but actually, I just started. This is a Verizon iPad,
Right.
and I just started. I've been paying the $30 a month for whatever the minimum connectivity is. I just started using it, and other than making phone calls,
right,
it'll run the iOS and app and all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and as far as why, other than syncing easily across devices, why an iPhone versus an Android, it depends on the make and manufacturer of that Android device. There's so many Android devices out there that some of them are good quality and some of them are bad quality.
And that's because Android gave away all
their
firmware.
Their operating system is free for all
You
users.
need some help?
Sure.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, don't those cheaper ones not have as much storage capacity?
I'm sure that's part of it, but they're pretty well made. LG.
You might not be able to put as many apps on the cheaper ones.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out how can they be so cheap.
Or why are the other ones so expensive?
Yeah,
but they're making big bucks on phones. But I saw that same thing, Sandy, and it concerned me. I don't know exactly how it's gonna shake out. Well, the Verizon, because.
I was gonna get a new phone when it came out, or
Yeah, right.
So.
Well,
Could get a discount of $100. He said if I waited till September, I could get a discount on it. older.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the older phones that are, yeah,
Yeah.
That's a thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
See,
But
that's
if you're
true.
away with that, then we'll get that discount.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, do you wanna move now
that's the
or?
only thing that's holding me back. So close,
Mhm.
you know, so.
That's probably why they didn't announce it too far ahead, because people try to grab the. I wonder, should we even talk to the folks at Costco, you know, the Verizon people there and see what.
Oh,
They would know, or go by the Verizon store. The Verizon store there in the mall is very helpful. Those people do, they know what they're talking about.
These guys out here were okay too when I dealt with them.
Oh,
But they're not really a
They're,
Verizon store.
they're subcontractors.
Yeah. But they, I mean, they're a bunch of nerd, yeah, guys, they know all.
Yeah, because my phone wasn't acting right when we were on our trip, so we stopped in Red Bluff or Anderson. You know, I went in the store, and he took the card out and tried to make it work, and he wasn't able. I brought it here, and they went to the store, and they just took MSN out and reloaded it and solved the problem. So, you know, there is a level of degree.
But I mean, look at all these phones. This is Walmart prepaid, LG.
Can you see what the features are as far as its memory capability or?
This is like cameras, you know, they have certain capacities that you can take on so many pictures of them. The chips.
How you doing with Windows 10, Joanna?
I like it, it's okay, I don't know why it was necessary, but I was doing fine with the other. But it's, you've got it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like it? I haven't done that much with it.
Yeah.
I use my account.
Oh,
Yeah. So.
yeah, I don't know.
Mine is still, every day it tries to load 10 and it won't load every day.
Have you figured out why?
Well, because way back when there was one of the updates didn't take. Now I finally hit it, and now I can't find it. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, it's just learning where different things are. What I couldn't find the file from my computer the other day, you know, like, it was on the menu, you know, of your computer. I couldn't find where would it be there?
Oh, yeah. How did we find it? We did something.
You found it eventually, but, was it File Explorer?
Yeah, because we use this to find things. You know, you can go in to your computer, and if you're curious whether one of your drives is working, you know, here's all your information.
See, there's nothing that says my computer there. Never. Nothing obvious that I could find. I don't remember how we found it. Should have written it in there. This PC, maybe it's there.
It's PC.
Well, this PC then.
And it showed an extra drive over here. If I had something plugged in, it would show, like my iPhone. If I had my iPhone plugged in, it would actually, it actually came up as a window, didn't it?
Yeah.
On my.
Yeah, no, that's an iPhone.
I can't get these Walmart phones. That's why
I think it would be another icon.
No support, no tech support. That's one part of it too. Yeah.
Icon there.
If you have a problem,
that's
Here.
that's it. The drug dealers, they're throwaways.
Yeah.
So,
They buy one for $20 and buy $20 worth of data and throw it away. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do what Sandy's.
They didn't bring some back, did you?
Yeah, everything.
By the way, you took pictures at my party, right?
Yeah.
Can you send some to me?
Okay, I'll see. Yeah.
Nice, I think it's gonna put together an
Oh,
album.
okay.
Really? Send me an email, one of the pictures of that. I don't know.
See, when was that? That was back in.
Me too.
Well, I got the dog in the car, it's getting hot. So,
Yeah, my dog.
See, if you get any reports of from Chanterelles or something. Any place, I mean, any indication, I like to go down, and work. We got friends coming from Oregon this year, and go down and spot.
You ever go out and get tuna? That's a good thing to do with the company. Go out to Westport, buy some fresh tuna. Oh, it's so good.
Our neighbors fishing off the fork, and so they're getting salmon, I'm gonna get some salmon.
How's your grilling going?
I'm still working on the steps. Matter of fact, I'm almost at the point where I'm going to put a layer of mortar. I'm having to re-go back and I got 12 by 12 brick, and then I got a back, and I need to go back, and I'm raising this a quarter inch, so when I use mortar rather than mastic.
Yeah.
Between the block, I'm gonna put a quarter inch mortar. Now, I was reading today where you probably should wait 28 days for the full strength of that mortar before I step on them.
Who would you?
Well, I went online and various people, because I don't wanna, I don't wanna break that mortar seal. Full strength is 28 days, 80% in 40, 24 hours, but I don't want to break it and have to go through it again. Because I've already gone through it 3 times, and I've been leveling it up and tweaking.
Did you guys figure out all the answers?
We did, we're gonna wait till September.
Well, and that's a great option, especially if you go to any route that you go with upgrading a phone. If you wait until the next one comes out,
Yeah, I think it would.
The older ones automatically get discounted. So
Sandy, do you have a thumb drive with you?
To the shade.
Thanks,
thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Well,
Let me give you a thumb drive. Well, I'm downloading these onto a thumb drive. I haven't edited it. I have 70 pictures here.
Oh, great.
why don't we take a look at your video, not video, YouTube video, and see if we can get it to YouTube. So we'll do that, and we'll talk for a few more minutes, but I think we'll stop the online show for now, and we'll see you guys.
always video, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but he was having some problems because we'll find out what the real problem is with why it's not uploading to YouTube, and go from there.